Live from the Continental Airlines Arena in the Meadowlands, TV51 presents Houston Rockets basketball. And tonight, the Rockets taking on the New Jersey Nets. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Worrell. Good to have you with us as the Rockets play Game 2 of this 5-game road trip. Rockets are 1-3 now, but they easily could be 4-0. They have not been able to hold the lead down the stretch. The Rockets led in all 3 of their losses going into the fourth quarter, but were outscored by the opponent. But that should change here tonight because Tracy McGrady is back. He has pronounced his back okay, and he's ready to play tonight, and that's going to make a huge difference, Matt Bullard, in the way the Rockets play because he's a superstar.
You think so?
I'm just a little mass understatement there.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Tracy McGrady, he's a competitor. He wants to play. He wanted to play last game in Miami, but the doctors held him out. Now he's warming up. He looks good out there. The coaches said there's no limit on how many minutes he's going to play tonight. He probably will get winded out there, but he's such a competitor, Bill. He wants to play.
You know, you played in the NBA with a bad back, so you know a little bit about what he's going through. What will he feel like tonight?
Well, he'll probably feel pretty good during the game. The key will be after the game, how does he stiffen up? Because I know when my back was hurting, it felt good when she got it loose, but once it tightens up, it can be a bear.
Well, when you play the Nets now, it starts out front with Jason Kidd. Richard Jefferson is back. He's playing a double-double every night.
Well, these two guys are 2 of the big 3. Of course, Vince Carter is the other of the big 3, but Jason Kidd, he's playing very well. He's playing his all-around game. He's the triple-double waiting to happen, but you can see he's hitting some jump shots this year, too. Now, he claims that he's happy with his teammates, and the other teammate he's happy with is Richard Jefferson, who has started off this season on fire. Richard Jefferson averaging 21 points a game, almost 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Richard Jefferson, after missing 49 games last year, is back in a big way for the New Jersey Nets.
And we haven't even talked about Carter, and we'll talk about him a little bit more as the first quarter goes on. Yao Ming needs another strong game in the middle tonight.
Well, Yao's been playing pretty good basketball, and I'll tell you what, the thing about Yao is he's only shooting 45%, still averaging 21 points and 10.5 rebounds. If he can shoot his regular 55% from the floor, watch out, he's going to be getting 25, 27 points tonight.
So Tracy McGrady is back, and we'll see how the Rockets respond when we come back from the tip-off in just a moment on TV 51. Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to the Continental Airlines Arena in the Meadowlands for NBA basketball here tonight. The Rockets taking on the New Jersey Nets. Nets 3-2. The Rockets at 1-3 on the young season. Let's check out the starting lineups for the Houston Rockets. Southwest Airlines starting lineups: Juwan Howard, Tracy McGrady, Yao Ming, Rafer Alston, and Derek Anderson. Good to see Tracy McGrady back in that starting lineup here tonight. And for the New Jersey Nets, they'll open it up in the middle with Jason Collins, Nenad Kristic, Richard Jefferson, Jason Kidd, and Vince Carter. So we should have a high-powered game here tonight with some scoring. We'll be back with the tip-off in just a moment. Again, everybody, and welcome back to the Continental Airlines Arena in the Meadowlands as we are just about ready to get this game underway. The Rockets desperately in need of a win now. They won game number 1 this season when Tracy McGrady did play. And then while he was out with a back injury, the Rockets have gone 0-3. But in all 3 of those games, they had the lead going down the stretch. The problem for the Houston Rockets is what to do with a lead in the fourth quarter. They have not been able to finish the games, Matt.
Well, the first thing they have to do is shoot a better percentage. They're only shooting 35% in the fourth quarter, and teams against them are shooting 45%. So if you can't put the ball in the basket in the fourth quarter, that's the most important time. And we talked with Coach Thibodeau at length before the game, and he feels like the intensity of his team needs to pick up in the fourth quarter.
Well, Jeff Van Gundy has talked about that as he returns to where he coached with the New York Knicks across the river. And for a while, so he has a lot of friends here, and he's hoping they can start it off. The Rockets are almost next to last in points per game. They're not doing very well, and they're next to last in field goal percentage, as you pointed out, but they are holding their opponents to a low number, and he's hoping that if he can get that shooting percentage up a little bit tonight, the Rockets are doing a pretty good job, averaging 85 points but giving up 86. Lawrence Blank in his second full season as the head coach of the New Jersey Nets. Remember when he took over for Byron Scott, he went 13-0 a couple of seasons ago, right out of the gate as a head coach. He was in Bobby Knight's program at Indiana. He was a manager there, but training to be a head coach. And then was an assistant coach for Brian Hill with the Grizzlies before coming to the Nets. Christic will jump center with Yao. And there you see Tracy McGrady. Boy, there's a lot of firepower on that floor, Matt, between Carter and Jason Kidd, Jefferson, McGrady, Yao Ming.
Some of the biggest stars in the league playing here tonight.
And Christic wins the tip. Jefferson on the perimeter. Carter leads this team in scoring, about 23 points per game. And Kidd's a triple-double waiting to happen. Jefferson to Christic over Yao Ming for two. That's a tough shot.
That was a very tough shot, but very good ball movement by the New Jersey Nets, swinging it from one side to the other. You see, this is a team, the Nets, that really play well together.
Nenad Christic was the #1 draft choice 2 seasons ago. There's Yao Ming turning on the baseline. The Rockets were really happy with the way he responded to Alonzo Mourning in that game in Miami 2 nights ago.
Yeah, Alonzo was playing him very physically. Yao didn't back down at all. And that first play was great to see. The Rockets always go inside the Yao in the first play, and when he makes that first shot, hopefully he can get himself going.
Carter out to Jason Kidd. He'll put up a 3 and hit.
See, the Nets have those 3 shooters on the outside, and they can pass it around one side or the other, waiting for one guy to get open. That time it was Jason Kidd.
Jason, 38% three-point shooter. That's only his 10th of the season. And an offensive foul is called on Tracy McGrady. Now, he has missed almost 2 weeks. And, Matt, what will that do to his conditioning tonight?
Well, I expect him to be very winded out there. You can't go 2 weeks, I don't care who you are. Even if you're T-Mac, you can't go 2 weeks without playing in an NBA game and still be in NBA shape. So I expect to see him get very winded out there, but he's such a competitor, I don't expect him to play any less minutes.
Vince Carter for another 3. He rims this one out, and Juwan Howard with the rebound gets it out to T-Mac. You see T-Mac's already breathing heavily. It's a lot different than just working out on your own.
There's no way to get ready for it except for to actually play the games.
Yao Ming with a double team laying in the weeds. Jason Kidd, you've got to be careful with the ball. He will not necessarily play his man. He will play in the passing lane. Christic will shoot it from the wing, and he misses. Long rebound, and Jefferson runs it down. Jefferson lays it up, and a foul is called on Rafer Alston. Let's check out tonight's Toyota Power Team keys to the game, and we usually give this to you a little earlier, but it took you a while to draw to come up with them. Yeah, right.
Well, the first key to the game is stop the dribble penetration. That is what Coach Van Gundy thinks is their biggest weakness. Number 2, they got to shoot better free throw percentage. The Rockets are a good free throw shooting team. They haven't shown that in some of their losses, and of course, key number 3, finish the game. The Rockets have to do that. The way they play in the fourth quarter is just not intense enough, and they're giving up such good shots in the fourth quarter because of that dribble penetration. That their defense, doesn't matter how good their defense is, they have to score.
Richard Jefferson in his 5th season. And boy, what a year he's having. He's averaging almost a double-double. He's got 20 points and almost 10 assists a game, and a 5-0 run now or 10 rebounds against. 5-0 run by the Nets. Yao Ming, baseline jumper. And you hear the reaction to this crowd is he is big, big, big everywhere he goes, but especially in the New York area.
Well, he's 7'6".
I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
He's big, Bill.
He is big in New York. When you're big in New York, you're big everywhere, right?
He's big on Madison Avenue.
You make it here, you can make it anywhere. Alston. Rayford coming off a poor shooting performance in Miami. He would like to do better than that. And Derek Anderson. Again, you may see a little bit of having Tracy back in the game. That helped Derek get a better look then.
Yep. Derek Anderson only shooting 32% from the floor on the season. He's a much better shooter than that. That open shot that time when you have a great player on the court like Tracy McGrady, you'll get some more open shots.
Jefferson with a spin move inside. Wow, he is a terrific player. You know, last night in Indiana, he had only 7 points. They said he got art-tested in that game.
Is that kind of like contested, but it's art-tested?
Yep. And a loose ball foul on Yao Ming. Ron Artest completely shut Jefferson down last night.
Richard Jefferson averaging over 20 points a game, only gets 7 last night, and that just tells you what an impact Ron Artest has on basketball games.
Vince Carter on the outside to Christic, way out high. Carter, a little floater going to the basket for 2. So the Nets off to a good start here. 4 of 7 from the field, 57%. The Rockets 3 for 4 to start the game. T-Mac picks out Juwan Howard, and Juwan drills it. He hit 4 of his first 5 shots in Miami a couple of nights ago, and then didn't see the ball anymore in the offense. But he has been shooting it very well.
Yes, he has, and that was a good jump shot that time too. And if you're 4 for 5 and your teammates start freezing you out, you've got to say something to them, and I'm sure Juwan Howard has said something to them in practice.
Christic back to Kidd now. Tough catch by Jason. He misses, and Yao Ming with a rebound. Yao Ming putting up some good numbers. And Juwan again.
Nice. Juwan Howard very patient, waiting for the defense to show their hand, and then he just shot the easy jump shot.
Well, he has, after poor shooting in game number 1, Juwan has come on strong now, and he is a terrific shooter, and we expect him to do that. This is 3rd tie already in this young game. 7 minutes left to play in the quarter. Kidd to Christic for the jumper. Now, if Mena continues to hit that, Rockets will have to come out with Yao Ming. Over to T-Mac. Jefferson likes to close down a lot of the better offensive players, and he's a little short on the shot, which means he might be a little tired.
Yeah, it looked like his legs weren't quite into that one. Of course, when your back hurts, it affects your whole body, Bill.
Carter with a tough shot, good defense. And the Rockets take it away from each other.
Derek Anderson get a little massage there from Juwan Howard. This is one of those plays, nothing you can do about it.
And the Nets are charged with a timeout. 6:26 left to play in the first period, and New Jersey off to a 2-point lead. Well, the Rockets trailing it by 2. The Rockets have only missed twice from the field, and those misses by Tracy McGrady.
Well, we're going to take a look at Jason Kidd on the post right here. Rafer Alston is guarding him now. Rafer's a little bit too small, so we're going to have the double team. Yao steps right toward Jason Kidd. As soon as Yao steps, look at the space there for the shooter. No rotation from the Rockets defense. Easy shot for Christic.
Carter gets a double team, and Christic will shoot it again. And this time it's in and out, and over the back for Vince Carter. Well, I thought it was
they called that on Rafer.
I thought it was Carter over the back. Well, the officials for tonight's game, Eli Rowe, Derek Stafford, and Leon Wood. Wood, Stafford, and Rowe.
And the officials called this one, and I think what happened was Carter was trying to tip it in, and Rafer slapped his arm. I heard the slap all the way over here, and so the official, easy call for the official.
That's the 3rd team foul on the Rockets. The Nets have not been whistled for a foul. Almost a steal by Derek Anderson. Carter behind the back. And it ended up in the hands of Christic, but that was too bad because Yao Ming sent it back the other way. Rafer Alston, DA picks out McGrady. McGrady looking for his first field goal. He misses. He's 0 for 3. Pass break the other way. Jefferson to Carter, and he missed it. Boy, when you put it up by the rim for Ben Carter, it's usually at 2 points, and McGrady with a great pass to Yao Ming the other way. Fast and furious action. We expected that tonight.
Great job by the Rockets to take advantage of that missed fast break for the Nets. Came back and capitalized on it.
Game tied at 13. That's the 4th tie now in this young game. Well, they ran away from Jason Kidd. He missed it. McGrady with a rebound. That's another facet of the game the Rockets miss on his rebound. Good pass to Yao18p, and he put the ball up and drew the foul for 2. Great. You know, you think about McGrady scoring 25 points a game, but his passing, his defense, his rebounding, they miss all of that, don't they, when he's out?
Well, he is a complete player. Now, Tracy McGrady running the fast break. The touch on this pass is incredible. Just lobbing it in there for Yao. Not too many players in the league can make that pass.
And Yao was looking for it.
Yep. That's one thing Yao has gotten a lot better at, is running the court on the fast break, and when he's down there, he looks for the ball.
And for the first time in his career with Houston, he comes into a game, even though it's early in the season, with a double-double. He's averaging close to 21 points and 10 rebounds a game. And this is the first lead for the Houston Rockets. He's 1 for 2 from the free throw line. So Yao now with 7 points. And Yao18p. Somebody deflected that. May have been T-Mac. Wesley has checked into the game, gives it up to Juwan. Juwan trying to face up on Jason Collins. Great move to the basket, puts it up with the left hand, and Collins with a rebound.
That was quick.
Yes, it was.
A little bit quicker than I knew Juwan could move. Just didn't finish.
Well, tell him that. Carter. And another turnover. It's going to be a fast break if Anderson can beat Carter to the basket, to the trailer Wesley, and he's fouled. And the foul is on Vince Carter. D.A. saw Carter coming, didn't he?
Yeah. Derek Anderson made the smart play, but gave the ball to David Wesley, who's not a big finisher on the break. I thought Juwan Howard might be the guy that would have got that, but Vince Carter bails out David Wesley.
So the Nets with 3 turnovers in a row, and that has turned into points for Houston. That's something the Rockets haven't been able to do early in the season. They've had turnovers, but they haven't been able to capitalize on them.
Yep.
And now T-Mac will come out of the game. So Tracy had 7 minutes, but he's 0 for 3 from the field. But it was the other things he was able to do. He had 2 assists and 1 big rebound.
Yep. I like that substitution a lot by Jeff Van Gundy. Get Tracy 7 minutes, get him out there, see how he feels. Bring in Luther Head, who's been playing great basketball for the Rockets, the only player who's shooting over 50%, and then let Tracy sit and rest and see how he feels.
Inside to Carter, he bumped his man off. That's an offensive foul on Vince Carter. Good call. And Derek Anderson with great inside position, wasn't it?
Well, it was great inside position, and of course our hotel was right next to the Directors Guild here in New York, so maybe he went over and took a little acting class before the game.
Well, Tim Paris was hanging out over at the Directors Guild.
Yeah, he was
the last couple of days.
Was he applying? What was he doing over there?
I don't know what he was doing. All right, the Nets have missed their last 6 shots in a row. The Rockets trying to do something about that, and we have a whistle.
Rockets falling all over the court.
Well, some of that fall had to do with a foul by the Nets.
Derek Anderson fell right before David Wesley. Some sort of a bull in a china shop in there somewhere.
Well, the foul was called on Collins.
He's a pretty physical player. If you get knocked down by him, you'll know it.
Looking down to Yao18p. Yao18p's got Collins on his hip. Nice little fake. Turns inside with a jump hook and rimmed it out. He went in, took a peek, and came out. Jeff McGinnis in the game now. They look for him for instant offense coming off the bench. He had some good years in Cleveland and signed as a free agent in the offseason. Christic. And a charge is called as Juwan Howard got over in front of a runaway Christic.
See Juwan Howard getting over there, and he sees him coming. It's a pretty good collision there. No acting involved on that one.
That's a second foul on Christic to go along with 2 fouls by Carter. And right now the Rockets are in the midst of a 9-2 run. So Christic will go out of the game, and look who comes in. Cliff Robinson in his 17th NBA season.
Did you say 17?
Yeah, didn't he start when you did?
He's a year older than I am. He's out there guarding Yao right now.
So he's not ready for TV work yet. Anderson and Luther Head. You know what I like? He's not shy about putting it up. He's a great young player. A lot of rookies think too much. He comes right in and reacts.
Well, he's got a great mentality about the game. He's quiet. He wants to learn. He wants to do the right things, but he's aggressive and he's confident.
Confidence. That's a good word right there for him. Of course, he's coming off a team that was in the Final Four and got to the championship game in the NCAA, and nothing bothers him too much. Illinois played in some big games in college. Down low to Juwan. There's Leatherhead going to the basket. Set it up. Oh! Wow. Yao goes Powell.
Did we talk about Yao being aggressive before the game? That was an aggressive move.
So when we come back, Yao Ming will be at the free throw line, but he's doing some damage here tonight with 9 points, looking for 10. Rockets on a 7-2 run right now, and Yao Ming with 9 points on 4 of 5 shooting. Let's take a look at tonight's McDonald's League leaders, and this is blocks per game this season. Alonzo Mourning, as you see, just under 4. Yao Ming just over 3. Mourning blocked one of Yao's shots early in that game 2 nights ago, and Yao came right back and scored on the next 3 possessions right over Mourning. So Yao's showing the rest of the league he's not scared of anybody. And look at this.
Well, he's not scared of the New Jersey Nets. This is called a quick dunk. Dunk it quick before the other guys can get up. Showed a little power there, too. Those guys were hanging all over him. He was able to still get up there and flush it.
You know, you can just see the difference in the attitude. He came back with 7.5% body fat. He worked real hard as he's ever worked in the offseason in China this year. Did not have to play a lot with the national team. And Matt, he just shows the confidence, and I think he will gain more and more confidence as he continues his improvement.
Well, he's having a great year already. He just hasn't shot the ball as well as he normally shoots, only 45% from the floor and 68% from the line. So his efficiency will go up as he starts making his normal percentage.
Well, he's playing more minutes, too, and that may have something to do with that. And Robinson takes it inside. Now, you got a quicker guy down there, and
yes,
he took advantage of Yao.
That is a tough cover for Yao Ming right there. Clifford Robinson at age 39. I guess he'll be 39 next month. We watch Clifford give him a little pump fake and then drive left. Clifford goes left every time, and I don't know if Yao knows that scouting report because he hasn't probably played against him very much, but as many times as I've played against Clifford Robinson, I know he goes left every time.
Another thing about Cliff is he's a terrific three-point shooter. He can shoot from the outside, so if you back off of him too much, and Yao now will have to leave the game. That's his second personal foul, and Dikembe Mutombo will check in.
Mutombo still not as quick as Clifford Robinson, but Mutombo knows how to play the angles and knows how to play off a little bit.
All right, Mark Jackson now will check in, a much-traveled free agent signed by the Nets in the offseason. Jackson has been around. Head sets it up to Anderson, and a charging foul is called on Derek Anderson.
Juwan Howard was coming up to set a pick and roll, and we'll watch here on the replay. Derek Anderson goes away from the pick and roll, and Richard Jefferson waiting right there for him.
Jefferson is a terrific defensive player. He's almost a shutdown defensive player.
Well, what can he do, Bill? Well, I can't think of anything. He's one of those guys that's an all-around player. And on corner, play a little D, shoot a three, get a dunk every now and then.
Averaging 20 points and 9 rebounds a game.
That'll make you an all-star.
And about 5 assists.
He had one game this year, we had 12 assists. His career high.
Jackson gives it up. Jason Kidd in the open court. This is where he's dangerous. To Jefferson. Jefferson off to McGinnis. Don't let them start running now. Once they get into a running game, you have got to get some rebounds at the other end or get back on transition defense.
The Nets are averaging 95 points a game. The Rockets 85 points a game. The Nets can be a very explosive team.
Derek Anderson hits a quick three.
Derek Anderson 2 for 2. 5 points. Good to see his jump shot back on track.
That was a 2, and it's 25-22. Rockets lead it by 3. Whoops, out of bounds. Jason Kidd, the rare turnover. Tracy McGrady back into the game for Houston. And Derek Anderson will get his first breather. So it will be Luther Head, Juwan Howard, Mutombo, Wesley, and McGrady.
Tracy McGrady checks back in the game. He's walking like I walk in the morning, Bill.
Gingerly.
Gingerly, yes.
Uh-oh. T-Mac. And he misses. So he's trying to get his shot back now. He's 0 for 4 to start the game.
That's always tough when you first check in and you're not even loose and you get a jump shot.
Mark Jackson with the miss, and the rebound goes to McGrady. 25-22. Houston. McGrady back to Wesley. Wesley with a 3 short. Saved by McGrady. And the steal by Kidd. No, the steal back by Wesley. Wesley on the drive. Nice pass to Howard for 2. Boy, that was a great play on both ends of the court. Down to 20 seconds left. And the Nets can take the final shot.
Luther Head, the rookie, one-on-one with McGinnis.
You knew he wasn't going to keep it long. Jefferson back to Jason Kidd. He is short on the shot. Back to McGinnis. Did he get it off in time? Yes, he did, but it did not go down. So the Houston Rockets shoot 53% in the first quarter. That's a big turnaround from what they've been doing this season, and they lead it after one, 27-22. Ryan is not injured. He's on the inactive list tonight.
Well, he has a bruised pelvis. He took a charge in the last game. He took a bruise in the pelvic area, you might say. And so he's a little sore today.
Since T-Mac is back and he plays that same position. Grady steps back over Jefferson, and it's short with a shot. Swift in the game couldn't get the rebound. So T-Mac now 0 for 5.
That's not to be unexpected, though. I mean, he's coming back from 2 weeks of being inactive. His jump shot's not going to be grooved in tonight.
Pananic in the game now, gets it inside to Jackson.
Foul number 1, Tracy McGrady.
And Tracy McGrady with the foul. That's his second foul of the game.
T-Mac's got 3 rebounds and 2 assists, so he is affecting the game. I'd like to see him, instead of take jump shots, I'd like to see him take the ball to the basket a little bit and maybe dish off to his teammates.
Zoran Planinic is in the game now. Along with McGinnis, Jefferson, Robinson, and Jackson. Robinson with a jumper short. And Stromile Swift gives it up to Luther Head. Mutombo trying to get down the court in a hurry. He's posted up on Robinson. They go to Swift instead. Swift back out to McGrady. Jefferson really shading the right side on McGrady. Back to Wesley. So the Rockets working around the horn. 7 on the shot clock. Luther Head over to Wesley. Got to get a shot up. 3 seconds. Nice move by David Wesley. But again, having McGrady out there spreads that court out a little bit. They didn't want to leave him.
Right. You got Richard Jefferson guarding him, but he doesn't want to leave Tracy McGrady, so that just takes away one help defender.
McGinnis draws a crowd back out to Robinson now. Shot clock for the Nets down to 5 seconds. McGinnis lost that ball and a whistle. Leon Wood said the foul is on Luther Head.
You know, when there's a pile of players in there like that, the official always looks at the rookie.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Protecting the veteran?
Just seems like, as a rookie, you get a lot of those fouls when it could be on 2 or 3 guys. Luther Head drew that foul.
Well, that's the... I'm going to say that McGinnis was shooting.
He was?
Well, that's what they said.
That's what they said, huh?
It's only the second team foul.
I don't think he knew what he was doing. Let's watch McGinnis driving in there. He just lost the ball, looked like to me. He didn't know what he was going to do with it.
And he gets both. 29-24 Houston. And McGrady is being chased by Carter now. And McGrady comes off that screen and misses again. Swift with a great rebound. The Rockets get a fresh 24. Now McGinnis will take McGrady. McGrady will take McGinnis to the basket.
There you go.
Boy, you knew he was going. When he got a shorter player on him, he took him right to the rack.
Well, I didn't like that first jump shot he got. It was a very difficult jump shot, and this time he takes the ball to the basket. That's what I was hoping he would do. He's able to draw the foul and still get the ball to go in. That's Tracy McGrady right there. That's how you get yourself started if you haven't been playing for 2 weeks. You take the ball to the basket.
A three-point play the old-fashioned way for T-Mac, and the biggest lead of the game now for Houston. Of course, the Rockets, Jeff Van Gundy not concerned with how the Rockets start. They've been starting very well in their first 5 games. It's how they finish. Good double team. And McGrady is hit from behind. That's going to be a foul on Carter. And that's the 3rd foul on Vince Carter. So Lawrence Frank will have to get him out of the game.
Great defense by Luther Head. Watch on this pick and roll. Luther jumps out and stops Vince Carter's penetration. Vince wasn't ready for that. And Tracy McGrady was able to get in there and get the ball.
And you cringe when Carter hit McGrady from the back.
Tracy still looks like he's not moving very smoothly. And he's still out of breath as well, but not really affecting his It's still effective. Of course, if you throw the pass to him like that, he's not going to be able to catch it, and you're not going to be able to do anything with it.
Well, that was kind of an inverted offense. Stromile Swift is not used to making that pass inside, as you can tell.
Well, Stromile at the 4 needs to be able to make that pass. That's a pass that Juwan Howard can make with his eyes closed.
Plananich goes baseline, back outside, Robinson, and he misses, and the rebound again to McGrady. So McGrady now with 4 rebounds.
Oh,
that's a good fake by Jefferson. They didn't call it. And Luther Head for 3. Boy, Derek Stafford, a veteran referee, he saw that fake. That was Hollywood by Richard Jefferson. He just went flying out of there. And he's arguing with Stafford. Stafford says, I'm not going to give you that flop. And the Rockets now with their biggest lead of the game. The Nets call a timeout. Rockets by 11. Well, since the game was tied at 22, the Rockets have gone on a 13-2 run to take their biggest lead of the game. Detroit's the only team left undefeated, right, Matt?
Oh, and they're playing some great basketball. The Detroit Pistons are my pick to come out of the Eastern Conference. They look great so far.
Over Miami?
Yes.
McGinnis from the wing and another miss, and McGrady with a rebound. And a whistle. And a foul is called on Jeff McGinnis as he pulled the shirt tail right out of the pants.
Luther Head was trying to get out on a fast break. Jeff McGinnis trying to pull the old vet trick of holding on to the jersey. Didn't work.
So here we go now. The Rockets playing excellent defense. New Jersey 0 for 3 in this quarter. McGrady trying to go baseline on Jefferson. Drops it off to Swift. Swift with one fake. Goes to the basket. Has it knocked out of bounds. 8 seconds on the shot clock for Houston.
Tracy looked pretty active with the basketball that time, but still. Bent over at the waist, trying to catch his breath.
And he'll put the shot up baseline. He misses again. McGrady tips it. Plananich comes out of there with the ball. Wesley trying to cut him off. Plananich left-handed. Tipped up and in by Mark Jackson. So again, Jefferson right up on McGrady. McGrady 1 for 8 now from the field. And that one that he made was a layup. Wesley makes the extra pass to Luther Head. And Luther hits another 3. He is on fire. Luther Head with 9 points.
3 for 3 from the three-point line.
Yep.
And you see he's getting a lot of minutes at the point guard right now. Rafer Olsen started this game, but hasn't been back into the game since Luther came in the first period.
That's a wise non-substitution. There's Jefferson taking it inside, and Mutombo may have had something to do with that. Lacey out of the pack with the basketball. And an offensive foul is called on Stromile Swift.
Stromile trying to run down the middle of the court on that fast break. The defender just got in his way. He ran right over.
So Derek Anderson checks back into the game for McGrady. McGrady plays 11 minutes. He's 1 for 8, but he's got 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Plananich out of Croatia. Nice player. Jefferson for a 3. Off the back of the iron. Kidd tips it inside, but he tips it to Swift. Wesley looking down to Mutombo. Got Jackson behind him. Mutombo, jump hook shot. Kidd will average about 5 to 6 rebounds a game. He gets one there. Jason Kidd, a 68 career triple-double. Kristich to Plananich. Plananich with a miss. Anderson. One thing the Rockets are doing, they're giving him only one shot. And almost a blocking foul. And a charging foul is called. That's the second one now on Anderson.
Well, let's watch on this pick and roll. Kristich steps out to stop his penetration, and there was some contact. Derek Anderson what he needs to do is he needs to split that pick and roll right there. He needs to crossover dribble and go right to the basket.
I don't know that he got there in time. 6.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Kristich to the middle over Swift. Swift may have gotten a piece of that. 38-26 Houston. And Luther Head has played so well since checking into the game in the first quarter, and he continues to run the show for Houston.
We talked to Coach Thibodeau before the game. You and I mentioned that we like the way Luther Head plays, and so do the coaches, and they're going to try to find some playing time for him. They found it tonight.
Turnover. Swift. Jefferson. Good pickup by Houston.
Watch out.
Jackson misses badly, and Swift with a rebound. Well, they can't buy a shot, can they? 30% shooting for the Nets.
Mark Jackson shooting that 22-footer. You better put a hard hat on if you're going to rebound that one.
And the foul is called on Kristich. Well, while the Nets can't find the basket, it behooves the Rockets to see if they can score as many points as they can. 5:41 left to play in the first half. T-Mac having a little problem finding the basket, but just his presence on the court has given the Rockets a lift. Well, this 12-point Rocket lead, the biggest of the game. New Jersey shooting only 1 for 10 in this second quarter. Ouch.
That's what you call going cold.
That's why you're one of the greatest analysts in the business.
Yeah, thank you.
Yao Ming has checked into the game now. He had 10 points early in the first quarter. Luther Head on the drive to the middle. Nice extra pass. Sets up Wesley, and David misses again. Boy, you just got to get David Wesley going.
He's shooting 23% for the season. His jump shot is not going in the games, and I watched him before the game. It's not going in before the games either.
He gave me $1 if I would not mention that. Obviously, he did not give you any money.
No.
10 seconds on the shot clock. 10.
So 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Go.
Jason Kidd will bring it in now to Jefferson. Oh, get away from him now. You don't want to pick up your third out there. 4 seconds. And Collins with the miss. And Derek Anderson with a rebound. So the Rockets now need to get on the board.
Well, you know, the Rockets defense is forcing the Nets to take shots that they don't want to take.
Padgett knocks it out of bounds. Scott Padgett, good to see him. He signed a free agent contract. And, of course, had a couple of good years in Houston with the Rockets.
He started last game, had a double-double, 10 points, 11 rebounds, and took all the way to the second quarter to get him in tonight's game.
So Rafer Alston checks back into the game, but what a good bunch of minutes, 12 minutes for Luther Head as he had 9 points. Inside to Swift. Stromile Swift on a nifty little inbounds play, and the Rockets now bump that lead up to 40-26.
Like you said, Bill, if the Nets can't find the hoop, the Rockets got to push that lead.
Jefferson wants to work it, takes it in on the baseline, up and in for two. Well, he's just under 6'7", but he plays big.
He's got lively legs. A lot like Stromile Swift.
He misses, and Yao Ming tips it to himself. And a loose ball foul is called on Plananich.
Let's watch Richard Jefferson spinning like a tornado inside. It's so difficult to spin like that and still have the power to go up strong like he did on that shot.
Plananich is from Croatia, and he grew up admiring Drazen Petrovic, Matt.
Drazen Petrovic played here for the Nets in the early 90s and actually scored a career-high 44 points against the Rockets in 1993. I was on that Rockets team, and I remember Drazen Petrovic scoring those 44 points. That was the first European player to score 40 or more points in an NBA game.
And Drazen was probably, and still maybe, the best shooter. There's his jersey hanging up high in the rafters here in New Jersey. He was killed in a terrible automobile accident in Europe. Still in
Germany.
Yeah, still in the prime of his career. What a shooter he was.
Pure shooter.
And then he was the first to come over here, and then the rest of them have been coming in bunches.
Yep.
Well, that's the third foul on Yao Ming, and he will have to sit down now with 12 points. So Dikembe Mutombo did not have to sit very long. Yao did a lot of damage early in the game.
Let's watch Yao. Let's see if we can see what. Oh, see, that's terrible.
Oh, that's the worst call. What in the world?
Well, see, that's just terrible because Yao's down there playing defense. A player runs into his backside.
I thought he did something.
And all the contact that Yao takes inside, they don't call it, and they call that one on him.
Unbelievable. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Back outside, Jason Kidd. And it's an air ball. That'll be a 24-second. What's it called now?
They called a pushing foul on Derek Anderson.
The shot clock had gone off.
Yeah, that's a good point. If we can see that one again, we'll see if the shot clock had gone off before the foul.
Derek Anderson is called for a foul, and that's his third foul of the game.
Who took that shot again? Was it Asen Kidd? Because he has no J?
Yes. Thank you.
Because that one didn't even draw iron.
Now Anderson will come out and Wesley will come in. They need to talk that over. I thought the 24-second shot clock had run out. The shot never drew iron. And there's the young official, Eli Rowe.
See it here. You see the shot clock goes to 0 there.
And then the push is called.
Yeah, it was close.
So they should not get to reset. Now they miss one there as they trip him out of bounds, and they're going to give the ball to the Rockets. So
is that called a makeup call?
I think so. Yes, sir. And it's 42-28 Houston. Rockets need to keep scoring now with each one of these turnovers and misses by the Nets. The Nets are ice cold. And there's McGrady. Gets it right back from Dikembe inside to Swift. And 3 seconds on Houston.
Pretty good.
Got a little sloppy now.
Yeah, well, pretty good defense that time by Richard Jefferson. The Rockets are trying to go away from their pick and roll, and the Nets are playing them for that. I think you got to go over the picks.
Nets shooting 30% from the field. And Kidd wants to back down Rafer Alston. He does. For a layup. Well, no one came over to help Rafer.
Well, and Jeff Van Gundy was yelling, "No help." I heard him, and that was so. Remember in the first quarter, I drew a little play where Jason Kidd drew a double team and got his teammate a jump shot. Now they're forcing Jason to do something with it on the post.
Wesley and Alston can't get together. That's what's amazing. The veterans are the ones making the mistakes. The kid like Luther Head comes in and plays solid basketball. Right now, it's Wesley and Alston struggling. And 2:52 left to play as the Rockets call a timeout, leading it by 12. 2 left to play in the first half. I questioned why they didn't help Alston out a couple of possessions back. Show us why, Matt.
Well, Jeff Van Gundy did not want his team to double team, so we have Rafer Alston, Jason Kidd on the post again. Now let's watch. David Wesley is digging the ball out, and here's his man, but he's still able to recover. Now stop it there. Now see, we have a little bit of a double team, but the rest of the Rockets are on their players, so they're not giving up a jump shot. It's basically a one-on-one there with Jason Kidd and Rafer Alston.
And Planinic is a 50% three-point shooter, and Kidd was probably trying to look and see how far Wesley would come. New Jersey now 3 for 14 in this quarter, but the last 2 possessions by the Rockets have been turnovers.
Yep, and Jason Kidd was 1 for 5 going into that last play. Now see, the Rockets going to try to play him one-on-one again.
Well, they're going to go right back to it, so until the Rockets stop it, that's the best play the Nets have been able to run.
It's always a tough decision as a coach. Are you going to double team and give up an open jump shot, or are you going to let the player play inside one-on-one? Nets playing a little zone, looks like now. Ooh, that's a tough shot.
Brady barely drew iron. And that's going to be off Planinic. And the Rockets really get a break here. It just barely drew iron, so they'll get a fresh 24.
Tracy's 1 for 9. All 8 shots that he's missed have been very, very tough shots. I'd like to see him take it to the hole and try to create an easier shot for himself or his teammates.
He took it to the basket when McGinnis got on. Ron Howard giving it up to Rafer Alston. Back outside to Wesley. Wesley woefully short and knocked out of bounds by Swift. Boy, Wesley has just got to get going. There's just no threat from him whatsoever from the outside anymore. Well, they're going to go right back down again. Swift comes over to help out, and Kidd dribbled underneath the basket. Here come the Rockets. Alston is fouled by Collins. Got to give up that ball sooner, don't you?
Yeah, if it's a 4-on-1 fast break, and you got Tracy McGrady out there, let him have it. Let him dribble the basketball. Let him throw it down hard. Let's watch this defense on Jason Kidd again. Now, Rafer also is doing as best as he can, but good job by Stromile Swift to come back and help. Not necessarily a double team by him, but good help defense.
Plus, he's such a threat as a shot blocker that's going to get Jason's attention. Rafer will have 2 free throws coming here. The Rockets on the season are shooting 77% from the free throw line.
They shot in the 80s in the preseason, and that really showed me that they're a team that can be a great free throw shooting team. Now, 77% is not bad at all, but last game they haven't been making the free throws that really count in the fourth quarter.
Alston gets 1 out of 2. Under 2 minutes left to play in the first half. Luther Head back into the game now. He'll try to match up with Kidd, and a pushing foul on Luther Head. Kidd with a nifty little, it wasn't quite a hook, but you see how he got that left arm out there to get an advantage on Luther Head.
That's the old vet trick, Bill, is you get your inside arm past the defender. You don't want to hook him with it, but if you can get it past the defender, then you can keep that defender from getting back in front of you.
68 triple-double by Jason Kidd.
You see what the Nets are doing now, though, Bill, is they're putting the ball in Jason Kidd's hand and letting him create offense. They've gone away from all their set plays, and they're just letting Jason play basketball one-on-one and forcing the Rockets to either double team or help off of someone.
Well, they're doing that basically because Carter's in foul trouble, so he's not playing at all.
Well, and they're doing that because their set offense wasn't getting any points. The Rockets defense was taking them out of their set offense.
Almost traveling on Alston. They have gotten away with one there. McGrady wants to set up the play. Juwan Howard will come out and set a pick. Alston looking down low to Juwan Howard. Juwan taking it inside with a jump hook, and he missed it. Tipped out of bounds by Houston. So the Rockets have gone ice cold now. This is a game, the Nets, and a technical foul is called on Lawrence Frank. These two coaches kind of resemble each other, don't they?
Well, when Rod Thorne hired Lawrence Frank here at the Nets, he said that he saw a lot of Jeff Van Gundy in Lawrence Frank. And I don't know if Jeff takes that as a compliment, or maybe I think he should, but those two guys, young coaches in the NBA, very intense coaches.
Jeff took it. He said, I'm much better.
Yeah, see, Lawrence Frank's here. He's trying to call a travel call, and the official says, no, Phil was there, and that's what Lawrence Frank was upset about. So, little $500 speech that he said to the official.
All right, so it'll be Jefferson and Kidd bringing it in now. 1:24 left to play. 44-34. Rockets by 10. They'll go right back to Kidd again. Playing a two-man game with Jefferson. Jefferson taking it inside on McGrady. Good defense. Swift with the rebound. And McGrady played great defense on Jefferson. Those two are shutting each other down. McGrady, little give and go. Got free over to Luther Head in the corner. Luther with a miss. And Kidd with a rebound. In the open court. Inside Jefferson, and he's stripped to the ball by Rafer Alston.
Good job by the Rockets to get back on defense on that fast break. You see Rafer Alston getting down low where the ball is. If you're a little guy like Rafer, that's your only choice.
Lananich pulls up with a jumper.
All he needs is a step. His jump shot is so pure, he just needs a little bit of space and he can get it off.
44-36 now, an 8-point Houston lead. It was as much as 14. McGrady taking it inside. Here's the whistle. Goes for the shot. And the foul is called on Plananich, but it's in the bonus for Houston, so he'll get free throws anyway. Both teams are in the penalty here in the final 33 seconds.
Tracy McGrady, 2 shots.
T-Mac will have 2. Gets the first. The Rockets started the quarter 4 for 6 from the field. Since then, Matt had gone 1 for 9. So they cooled off quickly.
David Wesley there got a little string from the towel on top of his head. I don't think he knows that.
Oh, I thought that was part of his hairdo. 46-36, again a 10-point lead by Houston. Jefferson. Plananich trying to get a pick from Collins, double team by Houston. Jefferson with 5 on the, he walked. Kidd with a 3-pointer. He misses, and Wesley goes and gets it. He's got Luther head down. Good thing Plananich hit it. And Plananich with a foul. Good call. It happened right in front of Derek Stafford, but he couldn't make the call. The trailing official, the young official, Eli Roll, called it from way back down the other end of the court.
Yeah, Derek Stafford was twisted around, and we'll see here. Good hands. Dave Wesley gets the ball back. Derek Stafford doesn't see it, but the trail official does.
I don't know how Derek thought he lost the ball. So Wesley will get 2 free throws. The Rockets are 12 of 14 from the free throw line. The Nets have not attempted. Oh, wait a minute.
8 for 8.
Okay, I can't say it. Looks like a 0 for 0. 8 for 8.
Those are 8s, Bill.
Thank you. You can tell that? 5 seconds. And a 20-second timeout, and that saved Kidd a turnover.
He threw it into the stands.
20-second timeout by the Nets.
That's for a 20-second timeout.
So what are they going to do?
Well, what they've been doing is putting the ball in Jason Kidd's hand on the post. I would expect to see them try to take the ball inside with Jason Kidd one-on-one, or if they don't feel like they can get the ball in 5 seconds on the post, and maybe give the ball to Jason Kidd on a pick and roll up top. But that's what they've been doing here in the second quarter, is just putting the ball in his hand and letting him create offense for his teammates.
Plananich and Pageant and Jefferson are good three-point shooters, so Kidd will have some good shooters to pick from if they want to hang out on the perimeter.
Well, Jeff Van Gundy has not been double-teaming Jason Kidd here in this game, so if you don't double-team Jason Kidd, you should not be giving up any three-point shots.
All right, John Barry has checked into the game now, and he will play Plananich. Plananich now looking for Jefferson coming out of there, and he draws the foul. So they're going to get at least 2 free throw shots out of that. So the foul is called on David Wesley, and Jefferson will shoot it up. Here's a young man, remember, was involved in that deal 5 years ago with the Houston Rockets, the 3-for-1, and he misses a free throw.
There's Richard Jefferson, Jason Collins, I believe.
Yeah, Jason Collins,
and another player for Eddie Griffin.
Eddie Griffin. All right, the Rockets have just over a second, and Luther Head will hold on to it. So the Houston Rockets do a pretty good job on defense, holding the Nets to only 37 first-half points and lead it here by 11 at halftime. Stay with us. Tonight's Lexus halftime report comes your way after the break.
Well, welcome back to the Lexus halftime report, where the Rockets lead by 11 over the New Jersey Nets. Let's take a look at that Rockets fast break in the first half. You see Tracy McGrady is bringing the ball up the court, and here's Dikembe Mutombo. He sees that he needs to set a pick. I'll stop it right there. Richard Jefferson, watch out. Oh, he tries to get an Oscar. No, that ain't happening. The referees didn't fall for it, so now stop it right there. We've got 2 defenders picking up the ball right here. Tracy McGrady, easy pass to the wide open Luther Head. Luther gets his feet set. Swish! Get that youngster some playing time. But we'll be back with more of the Lexus Halftime Report right after this.
Rockets held the Nets to only 15 points in that second quarter and lead it here at halftime, 48-37. The big boost by the Houston Rockets came when Jeff Van Gundy inserted his rookie Luther Head into the lineup, and Luther went off. Got a good pass here for his first three-pointer. He had only 3 field goals, and all 3 were three-pointers. Look at that arch. That was number 2, and here comes number 3. Nice pass around the horn. Luther 3 for 4 from behind the three-point line. He's 5 of 9 on the season for over 50%. The Rockets have needed every one of those points as they lead it here by 11. We'll be back with the start of the second half. Rockets lead it 48-37 here at halftime, and pretty good all-around first half for the Houston Rockets. Tracy McGrady started for the first time now in the last 3 games. Didn't do much offensively, but did a lot of other nice things.
Well, he didn't shoot the ball well, 1 for 9, and the 8 shots that he missed were very tough shots, but he has 6 rebounds. He has 3 assists. His teammates are really playing a lot better on the offensive end because Tracy McGrady is playing.
Vince Carter could never get going, and he really only played 8 minutes in the first half in foul trouble, so you know he's going to warm up.
Yeah, Vince Carter's having a great season, really a renaissance of his whole career here in New Jersey, and we expect him to come out in the second half firing him up.
Should have an entertaining second half. We want you to join us. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are tonight's Bud Light first half stats, and the Rockets leading in almost every category, including that bench. As we told you, Luther Head leads the way for Houston with 9 points off the bench. The Rockets have only 1 scorer in double figures. Yao Ming had 10 points in the first quarter. He had 12 points in only 11 minutes in the first half. So he is the only Rocket. Luther Head with 9 points is right behind Yao. And for the Nets, the only player in double figures is Richard Jefferson with 10 points. Jason Kidd has 9. Vince Carter played only 8 minutes in the first half due to foul trouble.
I really thought the Rockets' defense was exceptional in the first half. They really took the Nets out of their offense, out of what they wanted to do. The Nets had to go to just give the ball to Jason Kidd and let him play one-on-one.
Tracy McGrady played almost 17 minutes in the first half, was 1 for 9 from the field. He had 5 points.
Nice pass.
Yes, Yao Ming. You know, when you make that pass, you make it to the right hand, don't you?
Well, you make it to the hand that's away from the defender, and that time that pass led Yao right to the basket where he could just lay it in.
Beautiful. Kristich outside now, giving it up to Carter. Carter trying to get a shot. Richard Jefferson from the outside rims it out. So they're forcing the Nets to shoot it from the outside. They are a good fast-breaking team if you can stop them from getting the easy buckets, and Tracy McGrady takes it right to the rack.
I like that. That was a good job by Ray Olson to get that ball inside of Tracy McGrady, give him a shot that's an easy shot to start him off here in the second half.
So Rafer making 2 beautiful passes to get Yao and Tracy involved in the action early. And Vince Carter with a miss. And knocked out of bounds by the Nets. You know, the Nets historically have never been a good jump shooting team. You'd like to keep them in that half court, wouldn't you?
Yep. Well, the Rockets defense is forcing the Nets to take shots they don't normally take. And that shot last time by Vince Carter was a wild jump shot.
Collins looks to be hurt. He limped right into Yao Ming and drew a foul. He came over to help out on the double team. Did he pull a hamstring? He's going to the bench to sit down right now.
He's actually going to the locker room.
Actually, he's going right to the locker room. He came out and to help on the double team. Now they got to let him in.
Does he have a pass to get back there?
I don't think so. Rockets now will have 14 on the shot clock. T-Mac with a tough jumper hits. So the Rockets jump right out of the locker room with a 6-0 run to start the third quarter, and Lawrence Frank wants to talk it over. So the Rockets ended the second quarter on a nice run and start the third. And it's 54-37 Houston. All right, the Nets have the ball coming back in over to Jason Kidd. The Rockets off to a hot start. And Carter puts it up, misses it, and the Rockets got a hand on that shot. So 0 for 3 for the Nets to start the third quarter. McGrady has been hot. and he came out here, got his second win.
I was going to say, if that one went in, boy, he had to jump up for that pass and then rise up again to shoot it.
Fresh 24 for Houston. Juwan Howard with the offensive rebound. The Rockets will work it around the horn. 12 seconds. Yao Ming sets a big pick for Derek Anderson, and he misses the shot. Christic with the rebound.
See, what the Nets have done here in the second half is they've gone to try to front Yao in the post. Derek Anderson picks up his fourth quickly on Vince Carter.
So Jason Kidd will bring it in for the Nets. Jackson is in the game now for Jason Collins. They're trying to get Carter going, aren't they? And he finally hits.
I think he's trying to get Carter going.
Yeah. Well, they call that play. It was an isolation for him. Taking it down to Yao Ming. Yao takes it inside and a whistle.
See, what they're doing is they're trying to front Yao inside, and that time the weak side helper was right there, but Yao with a very strong move to the basket was able to draw the foul. Let's watch it here on the replay. Nice pass inside, and Yao just takes it strong, and there's all kinds of contact. But you saw he had two defenders around him that time.
Well, it looked like initially they weren't going to call a foul on that contact between Christic and Yao.
Right.
They only called it when Mark Jackson grabbed his arm.
That's why you got to be strong inside there, because you're not necessarily going to get calls on all the contact.
That was a train wreck, the first one. Biggest lead of the game for Houston, 17 points. Vince Carter gets a double team. Kidd will put up a three. Now it's a long two-pointer for Jason Kidd.
The dreaded toe on the line jumper.
Yes, 11 points for Jason.
Longest two-point shot in the game right there.
Looking to Yao Ming again. Mark Jackson is only 6'10", trying to stay with him. Alston pulls it back outside to Juwan. Top of the key, jumper. Juwan Howard, first basket since the first quarter, and Juwan with 8 points. And Rockets bump it back up to 17.
That jump shot became open because Juwan's player was helping out on the fronting of Yao Ming.
Derek Anderson, if he wants to be with us at the end of the game, better hang in there. That's 5 fouls now on Derek. He's been chasing Vince Carter all night.
Well, let's watch. See, Mark Jackson is guarding Juwan Howard, and he's down in the paint, double teaming Yao without the ball. That leaves Juwan wide open.
So David Wesley now will have to chase Vince Carter around. Carter inside for two.
That's going to be a tough matchup for David Wesley. Vince Carter can take him down in the post, and that time the Rockets did not double team. They just tried to help off their man.
He knew he wasn't going to be quiet all night. Grady working on Carter. Oh, boy. Carter didn't even start to stay with McGrady then. He went behind the pick of Yao Ming. You don't want to go behind the pick on McGrady, I don't think.
Well, no, those are the types of things, and that's a great observation by you, Bill, of the guys who really want to play defense and the guys who really don't want to play defense.
Christic puts it up and misses. Christic fakes again, puts it up and misses. Yao Ming has forced 2 misses. Quickly back down the court. Wesley picks out Rafer Alston. Inside to McGrady. McGrady lost the basketball. Rafer Alston will put up a 3, short. Jason Kidd in the open court. Jason Kidd to the basket, lost the ball out of bounds, tipped by Houston.
Seems like the intensity of this game has just picked up a couple notches. Watch Jason Kidd coming in, and there's could be a little contact, and the official just called the ball out of bounds for the Nets.
All right, Vince Carter now trying to get himself back into this game. Has hit his last 2 buckets. He'll back it out on the isolation with Wesley. And a foul on Wesley for putting his hands on Carter. So the Rockets now have picked up 3 quick team fouls to start this quarter. The Nets have 2. With 7.5 minutes left to play here in the third. Jackson back out to Jason Kidd. This time he had the toe behind the line. And Jason Kidd with a 3-pointer. 14 points for Kidd. Oh, Yao Ming had Jackson pinned, and he missed probably the easiest shot he's had of the night. Carter will fire up a 3. Look out. punches. Now they've got back-to-back threes. And Jeff Van Gundy wants to call a timeout. Kidd, Jefferson, Carter. They've been held down tonight, but they're trying to get back in the game. Time to check in on tonight's AIG Big Man Watch. And right now, Yao Ming way over Dana Christic. And one of the reasons he only has 2 rebounds, but he is very offensive-minded. He's getting some good looks.
Well, what the Nets are doing is they're fronting Yao Ming in the post. And what the Rockets have done a good job of is spacing the floor. Now go ahead and run it. Rafer also makes a great pass inside to the lead hand. And you see there's no help defense. Yao can just take the ball right in and lay it up. That was a great pass. That was a great job of Yao of sealing his man off, and it was a great job for the weak side guys to get the net out of there.
In the last 2.5 minutes, the Nets have outscored Houston 10-4 to get back into this game. And that's going to be a 3-second defense violation on the Nets.
Once again on that play, Mark Jackson is fronting Yao, and the weak side defender is hanging in the lane.
Now, Yao doesn't look like, you know, I've always thought the best way to defend Yao is to front him. He doesn't look as aggressive when you're in front of him as he does when you're behind him. This is what happened in Miami, I thought, a couple of nights ago. They started to front him in the fourth quarter, and he never got the basketball. What does he have to do?
Well, he's got to rely on his teammates to stay patient with him, and he's got to continue to work hard.
And Yao, that time Jackson played behind him, and that's what you get. There was a lot of contact, but they let it go, and Yao will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. Jackson tried to get in front of him. He waited too late. Right here, Matt.
Yeah, let's watch and see. Yao's got great position, and the thing that's perfect about that is Yao is creating the contact. Yao is the one who's the aggressor. He's the one who's going strong to the hoop. And when you're the aggressor, the officials will give you the calls.
Yao has certainly been more aggressive this season. He has 17 points.
Hakeem always had trouble with teams that fronted him as well, and I think that's one of the things about the legal defensive rules now is you can have a guy in front and a guy behind your postman and really take the post player out of the game.
All right, they're going to back in Jason Kidd again. This time they give it up to Carter, and he misses. Jackson with a rebound over Yao Ming for 2. Well, Mark Jackson has brought a little spark to that center position for the Nets since Collins left. Brady hit his first couple of shots to start the quarter. Jefferson is out on him now, and we're going to have an offensive foul on Yao Ming.
And that's something Yao's going to have to learn. Now see, Yao's down there fighting for position, and we'll see how much contact. There's contact this entire play. I was watching it the whole time. That's not where the foul was. Here's where the foul is. Yao is fighting, and you see he just gives him a little arm, and the players can flop like that, and Yao's going to have to learn. You got to keep your chicken wings down low. There's going to be a lot of contact, but you can't allow that defender to flop.
Yao's got 18 points, but he's played only 18 minutes because of foul trouble. He's been productive while he's been on the court. Jefferson on the drive right into Mutombo, and a whistle and a foul is called on Dikembe Mutombo. That's the first on Deke.
Richard Jefferson drives it into the land of trees. Tries to go up over Mutombo. Mutombo says, "What? Me? I just went straight up."
And Richard misses.
And then if you're Mutombo on the missed free throw, you say, "Well, that's justice."
The Nets 73% as a team, and Jefferson 82% from the free throw line, misses here. Jefferson has missed 2 free throws tonight. He's 4 of 6 from the line. He has 11 points. McGrady gets a double team in the corner. Wesley, 1 extra pass to Alston. Back to McGrady. 5 on the shot clock. McGrady, tough shot in the middle. Missed it. McGrady followed his own miss and puts it up and in for 2. T-Mac to the rack.
How many guys can do that in this league? And then how many guys can do that with coming off of 2 weeks with a bad back?
He knew he was going to miss it, didn't he? You shooters know when you're going to miss. He followed that right inside. All right, Carter back to the attack. There's Kidd again. He's been hot, and he stays that way. Jason Kidd, 17 points. 65-55 as the Rockets maintain a double-digit lead. Juwan Howard, a little outside of his range maybe, and the rebound by Mutombo, and he is fouled on the play.
New Jersey Nets are playing Tracy McGrady in the post the same way they're playing Yao. They're trying to front and have the weak side defender right behind him. You can do that now in the NBA. You can double team a player without the basketball, and that is an easy way to take someone out of their game, and that's what they're trying to do with Tracy McGrady now that Yao's out.
Both teams are in the penalty now for the final, almost just under 5 minutes left to play in the quarter. Wesley picked up by Carter, and he goes to McGrady. McGrady and Jefferson. This ought to be something to watch. McGrady rises up.
Get in there, Paul.
And it went in and came out. Jason Kidd gets a pick inside. Tough ball away. Air ball. McGrady's got it. McGrady back outside to Wesley. Wesley from the deep corner hits a three. David Wesley, are you back?
That was
Talk to me.
The toughest shot he's taken all year. He had to short hop the pass, and then he tried to jump with Vince Carter all over him.
David with 9 points. Gosh, it'd be good to see him get hot again.
Probably couldn't even see the rim on that shot with Vince Carter as high as he was.
Now Carter will try to return the favor. Carter on the baseline, lost the ball. Gets a double team. Look at that defense by Houston. 3 seconds left for the Nets to get off the shot. Luther Head will check in for the Rockets. And McGrady will get a breather. 13 points, 8 rebounds for T-Mac. 3 seconds now for the Nets. And again, Mutombo leans over and knocks it out of bounds. Still 3 seconds?
Still 3 seconds. I see Mutombo as the player who's doubling Vince Carter without the basketball and just leaving Mark Jackson out there to shoot an open jump shot.
Ball was touched and no seconds went off. Mark Jackson, oh boy, from the outside.
The Nets saw that on the first play, and they took advantage of that on the second play.
68-57, 11-point lead by Houston. Wesley in the corner. Wesley turns the corner. Luther Head on the drive. Luther Head back outside again. Wesley has time to set. Reads the label on the ball and missed the shot. Had too much time in. Jefferson. He'll work on the rookie. Kristich set that pick over to Kidd. Kidd on the drive. Kidd lays it up and out. Gets the rebound. Carter for a three. He misses. Knocked out of bounds by Juwan Howard.
You always want to do that into your own bench. You want your guys to catch you.
John Barry said not necessarily.
Luther Head, if he'd have gone into the Nets bench, they'd have scattered. He'd have been splayed out all over the chairs.
All right, a fresh possession of 24 seconds left for the Nets. Carter on the drive, cut off nicely by Mutombo. Ball is loose inside, picked up by Rafer Alston. Rockets leading it 68-57. Rafer is open, but he's woefully short. Rafer Alston now 0 for 2 from the field.
He's only shooting 33% on the year, so he's another one of the Rockets shooters that is struggling with his jump shot.
Jefferson on the drive.
I see David Wesley that time. He's got his position, and he's solid right there.
I thought that was a flop.
Yeah.
Huh?
Richard Jefferson just went in there and ran right into David Wesley. David was solid right in his position. Flopped out there and got a call. Let's watch this. David Wesley is going to be...
Oh, come on. Get the pancake makeup, will you? Come on, Richard. He'd probably look over at me and say, what am I doing? I'm shooting free throws.
Yeah. If you're an all-star, Bill, you can drive down there and flop around and get a call every once in a while.
That's right. You got that rookie official down there.
He'll fall for it.
Cliff Robinson checks into the game for Kristich. So they're back within a single digit now. 9-point lead by Houston. Rockets led by as many as 17 early in the quarter.
Is that a good thing?
Well, I don't know anymore.
perhaps not a good thing with the way the Rockets have lost leads in the last 3 games.
But they have T-Mac to go back to tonight. Set up to Luther Head. Luther floats it up and in, out, and the rebound to Jackson. Somebody now has got, with Yao and Tracy out of the game, somebody's got to score for Houston, and they haven't been able to. Jackson's open, passes off to Carter. He misses, and it's tipped up, and the ball is loose. Who's going to come out of there with it? Carter does, and draws a foul from Rafer Alston. 15 foul on Houston.
It looked like my son's roller hockey game. He's 7. That's all they do is fall on the floor. Let's watch this jump shot from Vince Carter. And then the rebound, hotly contested all over the court. Guys falling down. There must be ice on the court. Oh, my God. Oh, and Vince Carter, you fall. Let's see. If you fall down, you get a call.
That's all you have to do.
Shooting 2 free throws.
At least your son's wearing skates. I don't know what was wrong with these guys.
Yeah.
And another missed free throw. The Nets. And missed 3. So it's an 11-5 New Jersey run. 1:45 left in the quarter. The Rockets have to find some way to score. Stromile Swift in the game now. Grady and Yao on the bench. And a steal by Carter. Oh, and almost a steal back by Alston. Carter again. And he'll step back and fire. Terrible shot. And Luther Head with a rebound. Where are the Rockets going to go here, Matt?
Good question, Bill.
Okay.
How about David Wesley?
David Wesley, but he misses. Tipped out of bounds by Houston. This is why the Rockets lost those games down the stretch. McGrady did not play in those games. He's not playing right now because he's getting a breather. And Yao Ming has 4 fouls. They're waiting for him.
Well, I think Jeff Van Gundy's on the same page as you. He's just told Tracy to come back in the game.
The Rockets just have nowhere to score. Carter missed it. And got to get on the board. Jackson fights and gets the rebound. And Mark Jackson, you better get ready to play. He is here. He's ready tonight.
That's the type of player he's been his whole NBA career. He's an energy type guy. He plays hard inside. He'll get all the dirty work done. And inside here, he gets the loose ball and draws the foul.
Stromile Swift is called for the foul.
T-Mac's back in the game. Checks in for Rafer Alston. Rafer struggling with his jump shot, but does have 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Actually, push that around, 5 rebounds and 6 assists. So playing pretty well back here in his hometown of New York City.
Yeah, Rafer was a playground legend across the river. There's Jefferson going out, or Carter going out.
I'm sure he still is when he goes back there in the summertime to play.
Well, Vince had taken 6 of the last 7 shots by the Nets, so maybe that's one way Lawrence Frank wanted to cool him off.
Well, that last one he took, the 30-foot 3, that was a terrible shot. I'm sure it didn't sit too well in Coach Frank's craw.
Now a 13-5 run by the Nets. At least this isn't the end of the game. This is the end of the third quarter. Under a minute left to play. McGrady back in. Ed gives it to McGrady.
2-for-1 opportunity here if the Rockets can shoot the ball at about 36.
Tracy stops the bloodletting.
34 seconds. Good job of clock management by Tracy McGrady to get a 2-for-1 situation.
15 points for T-Mac. And he is back. McGinnis.
Back Jack.
Always looking out for those sponsors, aren't you? 8 seconds. Jefferson inside. Jefferson goes up for the shot, and he's fouled by Houston.
Richard Jefferson gets past Tracy McGrady. Stromile Swift from the weak side fouls him across the arm. That's one of those plays, if I was a defender from the weak side, I'd like to see him make that one before I foul him. course, Richard Jefferson is one of the best finishers around the basket in the league, but still a very tough drive.
His second personal foul.
Jefferson had 28 points, 13 rebounds. Back on the fifth against Chicago, he had 35 points, 11 rebounds against Toronto earlier this season. So John Barry back into the lineup. Juwan Howard will go out. They'll give the Rockets a little more shooting in the final 16 seconds.
Yeah. John Barry played 6 seconds in the first half. He's in for the last 16 seconds here in the third quarter.
Let's see if he can make it pay with a basket. 70-64, a 6-point Houston lead. T-Mac will have the ball, 8 seconds, 7 seconds, counting down. Swift comes out to set that pick. Jefferson all over McGrady, down to 2 seconds, down to 1. McGrady throws it up, and he did not get it off in time. So Jefferson answers the challenge. And here we go to the fourth quarter. Then the nemesis for Houston. Can the Rockets? They've led all the way. Can they lead at the finish? Rockets had a 17-point lead in the third quarter. The Nets have whittled it down to only 6.
Well, you know, Bill, while you were back in Houston the last couple of days working for our owner, Les Alexander, we were working in Miami while you stayed home and did all your things. I was busy. I was in Miami working hard. And, of course, you know, we love the desserts, Bill, so I wanted to show you the dessert tray. I had 3 of them. One of them was for you.
You know, I can see why you're so well prepared tonight, Matt. You've really been doing your homework.
You know, we felt so bad that you didn't make that trip with us to Miami, and we just wanted to show you a little bit of what you missed.
I really feel bad now. I didn't have nearly as much fun as you did.
I can't believe you made me eat 3 desserts, one for you.
Man, I knew you could handle it. Jacques Vaughn has checked in for his first playing time now. He's picked up by Lutherhead. Important minutes now for the Rockets. The Nets are on a bit of a roll. McGinnis, Jefferson, Robinson. Shot clock down to 5 seconds, down to 4. They're going to go to Robinson. Robinson needs to find somebody, finds McGinnis, gets it off in time. And with 1 second left, in fact, the shot clock was going off while the ball was in the air. And it's a 3-point Houston lead. And the Rockets trying to get something going. They put it in the hands of McGrady. Jefferson right there with him. T-Mac to the rack. And he draws the foul. This is what the Rockets didn't have when they were going into those long scoring droughts. They could not give the ball to number 1. Jefferson with a foul.
Tracy is the Rockets' go-to guy. And when you need a basket, you've got to have a guy like that on your team, and Tracy McGrady is one of the best in the league.
Because basically, Matt, he's the only Rocket who can break down a defense off the dribble, isn't he?
Well, he's the only guy who can break down the defense off the dribble, get his own shot, and create shots for other players. Rafer Alston can break someone down off the dribble, but not necessarily finish himself. Tracy McGrady, doesn't matter who's guarding him, he's going to have a mismatch either down low or outside, and when you have a go-to guy like that, that helps you win basketball games when they're close.
And McGrady gets it back thanks to Lutherhead, but he missed the shot. And a loose ball foul is called on Houston. It's called on Lutherhead. Now, the Rockets are going small because the Nets have gone small. So the lineup now in there for Jeff Van Gundy is Wesley, Barry, Head, McGrady, and Swift. Robinson will be the tallest net at 6'10".
The Rockets have 2 of the tallest players in the league, and Yao Ming and Dikembe Mutombo, but they are 21st in the league in overall height. So actually a pretty small team.
Alley-oop! And he missed it. Jefferson was right there at the basket. And it was saved by Mark Jackson. Jackson turns, and Swift got a piece of it. And Barry comes out of there with a good defensive effort by Stromile Swift. And in the half we have played into the fourth period, McGrady giving it up to Barry. Barry has not played a lot tonight. He should be fresh here in the fourth quarter.
He's got a mismatch. He's got Clifford Robinson on him.
Still 8 seconds. McGrady steps back. I was going to say he stepped back across the river. Oh, my goodness.
There is no defense for that.
He was 3 steps behind the three-point line, hit the three. Lawrence Frank said, I'm going to call a timeout. Tracy McGrady trying to come to the rescue for the Houston Rockets. Tracy McGrady started the game 1 for 9. Since then, he's been 6 for 10.
It's taken him a little while to find his rhythm, but he has found it. T-Mac is back. He's taking the ball on the drive, inside, mid-range pull-up jump shots on the post. And this one here is sick. A step back, 28-foot three.
I want to call it T-Mac from Hackensack. That's where he released it from. Wow. All right, let's see now if the Rockets can play some defense. McGinnis, Carter is going to try a three of his own. Rims it out. The rebound to John Barry. Luther Head will set up the play for the Rockets. And he comes out to get the ball. McGrady does. Jefferson runs right over John Barry.
Jesus.
And McGrady hits another three.
He hit one from about 35 feet. He's starting to feel it now, Bill.
Well, he had to get his second win, didn't he? He had to get his legs on the court.
Yep.
Get his wind back a little bit. And when he came out to start the second half, it was a different McGrady.
And that's, he's the type of guy, he sits out 2 weeks. It takes him about 10 or 15 minutes of game time, and he's got his conditioning back.
Brady trying to draw the foul. Here's Wesley turning the corner. Wesley backs it inside, and that's going to be an offensive foul on David Wesley.
Most other guys in the league, if you're out for 2 weeks, it's going to take you 1 full week to get back in shape. Tracy McGrady back in shape already, and then, that's just terrible. David Wesley driving the ball in, and McGinnis just falling down and getting a call.
So Wesley with 4 fouls, and McGinnis looking for Carter. He'll work on Wesley. Gets a step on David, takes it inside, and draws a foul.
John Barry in from the weak side.
Well, they're going to call it on Wesley first.
John Barry trying to get that. He's saying, I was the guy who fouled him. Let's watch and see here. David Wesley is playing him down low. John Barry comes in the weak side and gets his arm. 5 fouls on David Wesley.
Well, Wesley's got 5, Anderson has 5, and Yao Ming has 4.
If that's the case, you definitely don't want this game to go to overtime.
So Vince Carter had played only 11 minutes in that first half. Carter had 2 points at the half. Not anymore.
He's got 12. 4 for 16 from the floor, however.
74-69, Houston. Swift comes out to set that pick. Luther Head goes down the baseline, tries to go up for the layup, has it blocked. McGinnis in the open court. McGinnis with a layup, got it. What the Nets like to do, they like to run. They can get in that open court. 74-71, that 3-point lead again for Houston. Wesley is open from the corner. David hits a three. And that's what the Rockets did so well in the second half of last season. They had Wesley and Barry bombing from the outside. When you double team McGrady, you have to pay somewhere. Jason Kidd tries to answer, and he does! Jason Kidd, and they're firing at each other now across the court. Jason Kidd, 20 points. McGrady launches a three. Tracy McGrady. T for the three. And it's 80-74.
Keith Jones in front of us, the Rockets trainer, trying to figure out if that's the correct score. Teams have been scoring so fast on either end, maybe the shot clock keeper hasn't been able to keep up.
Kidd off balance, misses badly, and Swift with the rebound, giving it up to T-Mac. Tracy. Over to John Barry now. Swift trying to get position inside. Carter dislodges him. And you can't do that. So Vince Carter picks up his 4th foul of the game.
That's his 4th personal foul. 13th foul from the quarter.
Dislodging. That's a word you don't hear very much except for in basketball games. We'll see Stromile Swift trying to post up and Vince Carter just moving him out. You can't do that. That's an easy call for the official.
And a timeout taken by the Rockets with 7.5 minutes left to play in the game. Rockets trying to close one out. T-Mac leading the way for Houston. Rockets with a 6-point lead.
I would like the Rockets fans to come out to the games and really create a home court advantage for the Rockets. I think last year the Rockets played better on the road. This year they played pretty well on the road, not as well at home. And I'm not blaming that on the fans, but when you're a player, if you have some energy in the building, that really helps you get up for games.
Rockets were a good road team last year. Stromile Swift to the basket, invents a shot, but it won't go in. Jason Kidd in the open court. Vince Carter on the wing. He'll set it up to Jefferson now. Jefferson picked up nicely on the double team, but that leaves Christic underneath on Luther Head, and a foul is called on Luther. Oh, it's on Swift, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Luther Head, he just tried to get out of the way. He's got 3, and he saw Christic put his head down. He just backed away, and Stromile came in and fouled him from the weak side.
Christic out of Serbia, Montenegro, and he played on a lot of those youth basketball, the 18 and under teams. Croatia, Serbia, Montenegro. Great basketball in that area of the country.
There sure is. I really like the international influence in the NBA now. It creates such an exciting game, so many different personalities and styles and flares. It's great to watch.
The worldwide draft, no doubt about it. All right, going to T-Mac again. Jefferson trying to slow him down. Tracy gets a step, going left. Gets it right back. Jumper for Tracy McGrady, and he hits again. T-Mac cannot be stopped. Tracy McGrady with 24 points, 9 rebounds. That's how you protect the lead down the stretch. You just get it to a superstar. 6:38 left. Kidd taking it down in low. Christic with a jumper over Swift. And the loose ball foul is called on Christic. When you go small like Jeff Van Gundy is doing, it's nice when one of your small players is a Stromile Swift because he's still 6'10" and can leap out of the building.
That's right. Stromile is so flexible. He can play a small forward at a time. He can play a power forward. He can play a center for you. You've got a guy like that can play 3 different positions. You've got to use him in different ways.
He actually looks more comfortable at center. Back to Luther Head. Nice little fake. Luther takes it to the middle. Over to Wesley. Still 8 seconds on the shot clock. They get it to McGrady. T-Mac from Hackensack. Oh, he was so far outside behind the 3-point line. Tracy McGrady showing everybody here, and they knew it anyway, why he is one of the most outstanding players in all of basketball. And he continues to do it here in the second half, trying to lead the Rockets to their 2nd victory of the season. People have been asking me what's wrong with the Rockets. Well, Tracy McGrady hasn't been playing. The only win the Rockets have, McGrady played in that game. That was the first game of the season. He's coming back with a vengeance tonight. Carter picked up his dribble. Outside of McGinnis, 5 seconds. Down to 4 on the shot clock. Down to 3, down to 2. Christic puts it up and out. And a whistle. And the ball knocked out of bounds by Houston.
Well, you mentioned that the Rockets are leaning on Tracy McGrady very heavily in this game. And that's what you do as a go-to guy, but can they lean on him every game for 82 games?
I don't know. I'll try.
Will he wear out?
I think the rest of the Rockets will pick up their game. They're going to have to as they get more confident. There's Carter. Wants to get it right back again from Kidd. He does. Taking it inside, and he hits it. Vince Carter with a tough shot. McGrady started the game 1 for 9. He's gone 9 for 12.
That is incredible.
Since that time, and
coming off of a 2-week-long injury.
And 3 3-pointers during that time. McGrady leans in again. Hits again. Tracy McGrady is on fire.
His teammates can only stand and appreciate and just the amazing job of Tracy McGrady here in the second half.
Carter again taking it inside, sets up McGinnis, and McGinnis hits a three.
The Nets are not going away, though, Bill. They're hitting some big shots on their own end.
87-80. Well, that's why you have to continue to answer. Lutherhead turns the corner, has it blocked. And a kick ball called on Houston. Yao Ming now will check back into the game for Houston, and Stromile Swift will go out.
Now, in the previous 3 games, Yao has played very well, but hasn't been able to get the ball down the stretch. Tracy McGrady's got the team on his shoulders right now. How much will the Rockets go to Yao?
Those games you're talking about, though, he was into 30 minutes plus. He's played only 18 minutes tonight. He should be fresh here. Carter bounces it inside to Robinson, and T-Mac with an outstanding defensive play. Doing it on both ends. Back to John Barry. They're double-teaming Tracy everywhere he goes. That leaves Wesley open, and David Wesley. Again, Tracy McGrady drawing double teams, and Wesley is getting fantastic looks at the basket.
Well, the Nets are forced to double-team Tracy McGrady 45 feet from the basket. All kinds of open shots.
Carter lost the ball out of bounds. Houston's ball. You know, let me ask you as a shooter to explain to our fans. The threes have been contested because McGrady hasn't been getting double teams. He kind of hasn't been in the game. Now that he's in the game, the guys are really getting good looks.
See, here comes the double team all the way out at half court. So that double teamer has got to rotate all the way back inside. See, there's another wide open jump shot.
There it is.
You can't rotate from the half-court line all the way to the weak side corner. You just can't do it. It's not possible.
Even when Tracy McGrady doesn't have the ball, his double team is creating wide-open looks for Wesley and for John Barry and Lutherhead and everybody else on the Rockets team. They're feeding off of Tracy McGrady.
Okay, now here's David Wesley from the corner. Or he swings it over to John Barry. Now, that was a great skip pass from David Wesley. David Wesley having a great game himself. Nice pass that time, and also David has hit a couple three-point shots. So the rest of the Rockets, like you said, Bill, are starting to pick their game up because Tracy McGrady is pulling them along with him.
Well, his confidence, it's like me playing in a 2-ball with Tiger Woods. It's got to make me more confident to be playing with a guy like this, because look at the wide-open looks, and then look at the telestrator now and go to work here on the defense.
Okay, here comes Yao. Stop it right there. Yao is coming over to double team from the baseline. That's a very tough place to double team because Clifford Robinson is right here and he's going to be open. But look at Tracy McGrady from the weak side picking up the slack for Yao. That's not something that you would normally see, a double team from the weak side. And now here is the shot. Now see, the double team was way out there. The rotator's right here, Clifford Robinson. He's trying to find the open guy, just could not get to David Wesley in time. If you double team Tracy McGrady at the half-court line, there's going to be wide open shots in either corner.
And that's why when people say, well, he couldn't make that much difference, could he? Yes, he can.
Yes.
And it's the same thing if you take Kobe Bryant away from the Lakers, and you know, any of these great players like this away from a team, they collapse from the inside out, and that's what's happened.
You look at Tracy McGrady.
Hey, another thing, he's helping traffic control here in New Jersey
yes,
because a lot of these people are leaving.
They are headed for the exits. Tracy McGrady has sent them home.
93-80. Still 3.5 minutes left to play. Jefferson takes it inside, and a blocking foul is called. David Wesley, Jefferson going to the basket.
David Wesley has fouled out of the game.
Yeah, but before he fouled out, he had his best game of the season. 15 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds for David, and he had to chase Carter most of the game.
He's trying to talk to the officials saying, hey, come on, that's terrible.
No, he can't get it back.
No. Now, Jeff's got 30 seconds, he's got 30 seconds to bring a sub in, and he's trying to use that 30 seconds to tell his team something. And the official in there is saying, hey, it's not a timeout. Let's watch this foul. Richard Jefferson drives in, and David Wesley, I thought, was completely set. That's tough luck right there.
free throw counts.
Jeff Van Gundy's still drawn with the official, the young official, Eli Rowe.
So he's going through his baptism of fire. And I imagine Eli's getting that all over the league, don't you, from all the veteran coaches? He'll test him. Yep. Right there, looking like a double team on Luther Head. Doesn't slow him down at all. He gets the ball over the court easily. I like the way Luther Head is running this ball club tonight. Of course, when you're passing to Tracy McGrady, you can look better.
Bring it up and give the ball to T-Mac.
T-Mac again, a three-pointer for Tracy McGrady. He never misses. Unbelievable shooting display. 32 points for T-Mac. And he is back.
10 rebounds to go along with 4 assists as well.
Unbelievable. I've called all of his Houston games, and I've never seen anything like this. And Tracy again to the basket. And wow! Tracy McGrady single-handedly has put this Rockets team on his shoulders and carried it down the stretch.
Let's watch Tracy drain a long jump shot from way outside off the dribble for 3. Good. And then he takes it in on the fast break. Gets fouled on purpose, still able to get the ball to go in. How about 3 the old-fashioned way, Bill?
Now, if he gets this free throw, Matt, it's going to be 35 points in 34 minutes.
Oh, my goodness.
How about that for production?
And started 1 for 9.
Well, he was breathing hard at the start of the game, but he got his second win, and he hasn't looked back.
He wanted to play in Miami. He said he was ready. But the doctors and the trainers said, no, you better take one more game. Well, he looks like he's fine.
Well, he's carrying the Rockets on his back, so it must be okay.
Yeah. Here comes a double team way out at the half court. There's going to be an open shot. Look at it.
Luther misses, and John Barry goes and gets a fresh 24 for you.
Now, see, the Rockets can run some clock now. T-Mac knows that. He's not going to start the play until the clock runs down.
Yao sets that pick out high. Barry with a nice fake. Picks out Luther Head in the corner.
Short.
And they took some time off the clock with a couple of possessions. Did not get a basket. And Jefferson with 1:48 left to play. McGinnis with a nice little move down the baseline. And it's 1:44 left. Derek Anderson in the game along with Head, McGrady, Barry, and Yao Ming. Put it in the hands of McGrady.
Rockets have a 13-point lead. They've got enough points. All they need to do is run a little clock. Get a good shot, though, each possession.
Down to Yao. Yao with a bounce pass. Keep it moving over to Barry. Barry lays it up. Missed it. Jason Kidd in the open court. Jefferson will fire up a 3. He misses. He's not a good three-point shooter. That's one of his weaknesses. That's about the only one. McGinnis. Back to Carter. And he misses, and Luther Head gets the rebound. He got the rebound ahead of Yao Ming.
Took it away from Yao. But that's the confidence I like in the rookie. He's not afraid to get in there and just get a rebound.
Tracy McGrady trying to direct traffic. He hit his cousin in the face. McGrady trying to draw the foul, and the rebound to Christop with 36 seconds left to play. McGinnis fouled by Barry, and it goes out. He'll have 2 free throws. Tonight's... Hey, let me ask you a question. Who do you think the Landry Signature Group player of the game is?
Well, let's see. Tracy McGrady?
That's why you're paid the big bucks.
I was just guessing.
He started out 1 for 9 tonight. He finishes 13 of 26, 35 points, and 10 rebounds. How about that double-double? And 4 assists.
Wow. Once again, Bill, we have witnessed an unbelievable performance from Tracy McGrady.
As long as we're talking about Landry's, I'm sure if you asked Hillman Fertitta, would he sell 1 or 2 of his restaurants to pay Tracy McGrady? If he'd say, of course I would.
Tell you what, those Landry's, they got a good dessert in there too, Bill.
Yes, they do.
Bananas Foster. Woo-hoo! Good stuff.
Well, this has been an unbelievable performance. I knew of course, that he would play well tonight. You just didn't know down the stretch that he would be just unbelievable. I mean,
he's such a competitor, Bill. He just wants to go out there and win. And that kind of competitiveness is so rare in this league.
Scotty gives it up. Down the baseline goes McGinnis. Scott Pageant with one extra pass. Plananich with a three. So with just over 1 second left, the Rockets, all they have to do is get it in. Well, for all of you fans that said, what's wrong with the Houston Rockets? It's getting that man back on the court. Tracy McGrady tonight, 35 points, 10 rebounds, and an unbelievable performance going down the stretch to lead the Rockets to a 99-91 victory. Stay tuned. After the break, we'll have the Rockets post-game report. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Meadowlands as the Houston Rockets really do a job coming down the stretch. The New Jersey Nets had closed to within 3 points of Houston. The Rockets led by as many as 17 in the third quarter. The Nets then went on a run to get within 3 points, and as soon as they got within 3 points, Tracy McGrady hit 4 baskets in a row, including a couple of three-pointers. Then he passed off to David Wesley in the corner for a big three, and presto. The Rockets found a way to win down the stretch. Winning down the stretch helps when you got number one, right, David?
That's incredible. You know, he's been out a week with a bad back, and to come back and, I mean, some of those shots weren't even good shots. He's just making them, and that's fun to watch.
35-footers.
Yeah, I mean, they were big shots, and down the stretch, it's great. You know, to have him on the floor makes a ton of difference.
I had to call one when he stepped back. I said T-Mac from Hackensack because it looked like he shot it from across the river. When you saw him shoot that, what were you thinking?
Well, I mean, you've seen him hit those shots, many times, but like I said, he's been off, a week and not doing anything. No, I mean, he hadn't even the last couple of days gotten the workouts in. He hadn't practiced. He hadn't done anything. He just come out here on his greatness and got it done.
I was trying to tell everybody if you and I were out for 2 weeks, it would take us 2 weeks to get back.
Exactly.
It took him like a quarter, maybe.
Yeah, it took him a quarter, and then he was back to himself.
How important is it now when he's doing his deal like that? I noticed you had 2 open shots, not only open, you had all day. And I mean, that really makes it easy. You guys can be on the perimeter and get the shots you like.
Well, that was the fun about thinking about coming here was knowing that Yao demands a lot of attention and Tracy demands a lot of attention, 2 and 3 guys sometimes, and it gives you an opportunity to just stand there and knock down shots. It's just a matter of getting in rhythm and getting them down.
Now, folks are worried a little bit about David Wesley. Will the shot come back? I think tonight we're seeing it come back. It's a slow process, isn't it?
It is, and a lot of it is between my ears. I just keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it instead of just coming out here relaxing and playing the game. But I want it so much, and I'm fighting it so much, just trying to get everything in order, but I think it's coming around.
You said you never were in a slump, Matt.
Yeah, right. You're never in a slump. But I've been telling the fans, you had knee surgery this summer, and as an older player, I'm not saying you're old or anything, but as an older player, it takes some time to get that back. And when you play a game like tonight where it's fun and your teammate is knocking down shots like that, it makes it easy.
It's contagious, and like I said, when he's getting 2 and 3 guys looking at him, it leaves you wide open. I could, roll the seams on a lot of those.
Yep.
Well, Tracy McGrady with 20 points in that fourth quarter, and I think the team stepped up and really you were able, you start to flounder a little bit without him in the game or Yao, and then when Tracy came back in and did what he did, the team stepped up.
Yeah, it's a big lift, and but I'm sure that's what coach is going to look at, that part where he wasn't in the game and when Yao wasn't in the game, and we got to figure out why we do what we do in those situations and get them better.
Well, we're heading to Boston, and another tough game tomorrow night because the Celtics are much improved.
And one of David's old teams.
Yeah, let's see if this team can bounce back, huh?
2 of my old teams in 2 nights.
Yep, back to back.
Back to back.
They're all over the league now.
They're all over, huh? Yeah, easy. That's not nice.
Well, you're going to be with the Rockets the rest of the season. We know that, and thanks so much for your contributions in the fourth quarter. And
thanks,
we'll be
guys.
back and wrap it up in just a minute. So the Rockets break that 3-game losing skid with a big victory here in New Jersey tonight, 99-91. Tracy McGrady with 20 points in the fourth quarter to carry the Rockets to victory.
20 points.
In the fourth quarter?
In the fourth. Wow.
This is how he did it, Matt.
Tracy McGrady was getting it done all over the court. Now, just watch the defense on some of this stuff. I mean, the defense is doing all they can do. Watch this. Defender right in his face. 2 steps behind the three-point line. That's undefensible. Here, he drives to the open spot on the court. Mid-range jump shot. Once again, another long-range 3-step back. That's just stuff. It doesn't matter how good a defender you are. You cannot stop a guy like that. Tracy McGrady, unbelievable game tonight.
Yeah, it's truly a remarkable performance. He started out 1 for 9 and ended up with 35 points.
That's a lesson right there. If you're a shooter and you start off 1 for 9, keep shooting.
Well, you never had a conscience.
I never had, 26 shots in a game? That's like a career for me.
Well, that's true. You have to have the green light.
Yeah.
That certainly helps. But, boy, this was a big victory for Houston.
It was. The Rockets losing their last 3 games by giving up fourth-quarter leads. They had a lead this entire game. The Nets did get back into the game in the second half, but the Rockets really able to shut the door on the Nets. A big confidence boost for this team.
We'll talk about Boston in just a moment after this break. So the Rockets win it here tonight, 99-91. Tracy McGrady with 35 points. Tomorrow night, it's on to Boston. McGrady and Paul Pierce should be quite a shootout.
Paul Pierce, another guy that can really fill the basket up. What I'm going to be interested to see is how does Tracy McGrady's back hold up on a back-to-back situation. We play late here tonight in New Jersey. It's an early game tomorrow in Boston. Is his back going to be able to handle back-to-back games?
Oh, we certainly hope so, because Tracy McGrady can show you what the Rockets can do when he's in the lineup. Once again, the final score tonight. The Rockets 99, the Nets 91. Join us for our next telecast. That's tomorrow night when the Rockets travel to Boston to take on the Celtics. Coverage begins at 4:30 on FSN Houston. For Matt Bullard, I'm Bill Worrell saying good night from New Jersey.